As soon as it says, like my stream shows it's connected, there, stream starting health green. Your audience will see your content in a moment. You are live. I'm live. You should be hearing me any instant now. Boop 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 boop. Garrett Folsom. Hello. I see you with my face. I really want this to work because we tested it and it looked good, but that doesn't mean anything. We all know how tests can fail. Hi, Scott. Do you hear me, Scott? Why isn't anyone telling me if they can hear me? No, they just didn't know what I was requesting, and what I was requesting was some feedback on the hearability of my voice at current. Oh, I remember now. I was supposed to do some hardcore testing on why my mic wasn't working the other day. But it looks like it's working okay at the moment, so hopefully we're over that problem. Because yeah, sounds great. I hear you. I hear you on my phone. I hear you in my face. Hi, guys. Welcome to Week 12 Monday, not to be confused with Week 12 Friday, in which we will all also be here. But we're having this special Week 12 Monday edition, A, because we used to do Week 12 Monday every year before I, had kids and stuff. And B, because for 3 weeks we had no broadcast system, which we found out Week 7 Friday, and it was a really sad moment. So it's back. We downloaded a shady program that makes it work again after I updated to the latest version that made things not work. So, yeah, it's all back, and that's why we're doing this bonus edition of whatever this is, the live broadcast. So, since I'm clearly making zero sense, tonight we have 3 races from Chicago, starting with the Beverly B Stakes, a riveting field of 5 horses in here. Tonight's MC was supposed to be our MC Week 9 Friday, and that is Rebecca Rose Hepburn. So, without further ado, here she is to talk about grass horses.
Guys, so I have 2 minutes to post to talk about this. So either it's going to be late or just go through. I have three. Oh, well, thank you. That's so much better. So let's get into this. Our first horse is Guler, who is running here as a race filler. If you are a newbie, this is a way to get money. Just make sure that there's only 5 horses in the race and not 6, because otherwise then you lose the fee and it's a sad day. Our second horse is Capital Income, homebred for Mike Eaton. Capital Income has had a good year, good season this year. She's won 2 out of 3 starts. Her only loss was to a horse named the Specials, who we will be seeing later in the day. Third horse is Make Them See, steward bred, owned by Emma Lochran. Make Them See. Oh, shoot, lost my page. Okay. Make Them See has had a good career bouncing around, picking up checks in smaller races. Last year, she went undefeated up until the Stewards Cup. She ran a decent 7th. In her first 2 starts this year, she won a pair of Grade 3 races and then tried the Grade 1 World Traveler Handicap and came in 5th behind some of the horses in this race. I think she is one of the longer shots in this very small field. Next up is Bestseller for Nina Olson. Bestseller is a daughter of the fancy mare Fictionelle, which makes her half-sister to 2 millionaires. She is coming into this win off of 2 losses with sad speed figures, but she did win the Gun of the Dogs stakes earlier in the year with an 86, so she can bounce back. And our last horse is Investing in Stars for Norman Architecture. Investing in Stars is going to be your heavy favorite in this race. This mare has won a ton of nice Grade 1s, including the Louisville Bun Barrette and the International Oaks. She won this race last year. She was a close second in the affiliate mare Turf Stewards Cup, and she's coming in off a nice win in the Grade 3 Terror Stakes. So it's exactly post time now, so take it away, Em. Whoops.
Sorry, everyone. I had a whole spiel and then realized I never switched over to my own audio, so only Rose heard it. I basically complimented her mad race previewing skills and also hacked up a lung into the mic, so yeah, you missed a lot. 5 horses going a mile and an eighth. I have to close all the betting. Sorry, closing betting takes a moment. Closing things. Pick six closed. Everything closed. Let's do it. They're racing in the Beverly B, a great start for all 5 runners. Bestseller is quick to get going, joined by Investing in Stars. Here's Capital Income settling down comfortably mid-pack. Then comes Make Them See, and Guler drops out last of the 5. A classy field of mares here tracking into the clubhouse turn led by Bestseller, who jaunts along 2 lengths in front of Investing in Stars. The big mare is settled willingly, however, 2 ahead of Capital Income, and Make Them See is up outside of that one a bit wide and 5 lengths back to Guler. Bestseller, and she leads by 3 down the backside. Investing in Stars, a threatening presence in second. They've got 6 lengths on Capital Income sitting third, but the rider is happy with their position. Then Make Them See, and Guler is 9 lengths last. Bestseller is leading them to the half-mile pole, but there she goes. Investing in Stars unleashes her run, and she's streaking up on Bestseller, and in the blink of an eye, Investing in Stars is a length in front. Bestseller looks like she's running backwards now. Here's Capital Income, then Make Them See, and Guler is well back, but Investing in Stars 1 run, and now she's well clear. Investing in Stars comes waltzing down the stretch. Capital Income up second. Bestseller, Make Them See is closing. Guler still on the turn, but Investing in Stars is in a universe of her own. She's closing in on the $3 million mark, and she wins the Beverly B for fun. Capital Income will get up for second, Make Them See third, and then Bestseller was fourth. The official winner is Investing in Stars. She's a 5-year-old Dark Bay mare by Jack Frost out of In the Doldrums by Streamer. She is a homebred for Norman Architecture, and this is her 15th win in 19 starts. Also, she's good at life. She wins this race a lot, or grade ones a lot. She won this race last year by 6 3/4, so comparatively, her 3-length win was basically Slackerville. She's basically a slacker. Next up, we have the Secretariat Derby in 7 minutes. A field of 6. There, did I do better for you that time, Rose? She's going to go on a rant, guys. Watch out. Here she is.
Okay, let's do the race preview real quick first, and then we'll go into the rant. Okay, our first horse is Murrumbidgee River, running for Matt Johnson. If you're going to put a race filler in a race, just keep an eye on it and make sure that it doesn't fill up to 5 horses, because this horse has to be a filler, never won a race before, and is definitely going to lose money paying the stakes fee. So watch for that. Our second horse is Blanco, running for Ken Doe. Blanco was a maiden at the start of the year, broke his maiden week 7, came back and won a non-winners of 2 last time out. It's got to be a longer shot in this field. Our third horse is Princess Pleasure, who looking at... Don't talk to me. Okay. Our third horse is Princess Pleasure, running for Lee Cara, who's a horse that I look at him and think this he might have gotten a bump up in class week 8. Princess Pleasure broke his maiden year 15, had 2 uninspiring starts after that, but week 8 came one and non-winners of two nicely, and then came and actually picked up a Grade 1 win next out in the Metropolitan Turf Derby. I think that this field overall, aside from Wolfgang, is kind of soft, so props to you, Lee. I think this is an excellent spot for him to pick up a nice check. Our next horse is in Intonation, which I'm going to say incorrectly, probably, which is kind of ironic. Intonation. Intonation is a homebred for Scott Island. Intonation comes into this race off of 3 losses so far this year, with his best finish being a second in allowance, week 6. Last out, he was third in the Grade 1 Cape Town Derby. He's a nice horse. He looked nicer last year, and I think he's another horse that's a little bit of a long shot, but he could definitely come in and pick up a check. Our next horse is Kill the Messenger, homebred for Tim Matthews. How many homebreds are in this race? 1, 2, 3. Okay, half the field. There's only one steward bred though. That's kind of interesting to see. Anyways, Kill the Messenger is coming into this race off of the Metropolitan Turf Derby, where he finished third. Before that, he picked up a Grade 1 win in the Indian Derby, and before that, he had a string of on the board finishes all the way back until his last one before that was a non-winners of 2 last year. Let's see. And our last horse is Wolfgang. Wolfgang is the winner of last year's Stewards Cup Bunbury. He has been winless since that victory, but he's had some very big runs. Last out, he was second in the Grade 1 Virginia Derby with a 91 speed figure. He was fourth in the Louisville Bunbury, and then second in the Northern California Bunbury earlier this year. But again, that was with an 89 speed figure. I think, obviously, it's being a Stewards Cup winner combined with the high speed figures. I think this is another race with a really big favorite, and we'll see how he does. Good luck to everybody. And the quick rant that we're going to throw in there that Emily and I were talking about. I can hear myself. Why can't I hear myself? Yeah. The quick rant that Emily and I were talking about is it seems like this race came up a little soft, especially considering it's a $300,000 Grade 1 race. Last week in Australia, there was a $400,000 Grade 1 race that was won by a horse that was his second career win. So if you have a 3-year-old turf router, seems like a lot of these races are coming up light, while some of the the smaller Grade 3 races are getting big horses facing each other. So guys, just watch. There's definitely, it looks like there's easy money to be had right now in the division if you place your horse proactively. So anyways, that's my rant. What time is it? Are we gonna do a contest? Okay, so we're gonna do a contest for what am I giving away? Just gonna contest for 10,000 game points. For 10,000 game points. Doop 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 doop. It's actually having the last leg of the Canadian Triple Crown tonight, but we're not calling that because we're not calling that. Oh, in the sim. Yep. There we go. Oh, yep. There we go. Eric Deco had it. It is West, year 25. A horse that I kind of forgot about until just this moment. So, anyways, good job, Eric. Yay! Deco, sorry. It's only got one E in there. It is it's post time, so M probably take it over.
I think I will take it over. For a while there, I thought you'd fallen off a cliff. But you're back. Everyone's back. All is lovely. Hey, it's post time for the Secretariat Derby, which I almost said Chicago Derby, which is not the same. This is the Secretariat Derby. Field of 6. Going a mile and a quarter, because heaven forbid we not have 2 mile and a quarter races in a night. They're off in the Secretariat Derby, a clean start for all 5 runners. Wolfgang away fastest. He canters out to take the lead. No one wants to go with him. Murrumbidgee River will be the one tracking in second, joined by Blanco and Prince's Pleasure. Intonation drops back second last, while Kill the Messenger is the one at the back of the field. They're coming under the wire the first time, and Wolfgang has it all his own way. He leads by a length and some on a loose hold. With Murrumbidgee River a comfortable second, the pace is brisk but not over the top. Blanco and Prince's Pleasure are third and fourth. Then Intonation and Kill the Messenger watches the leader getting further away. That leader is Wolfgang. Into the backstretch, he cruises by 3. No movement yet from the others. Murrumbidgee River is 5 back to Prince's Pleasure and Blanco. Then 3 more to Kill the Messenger, and Intonation is last. They have about a half-mile left to go, and Wolfgang is rolling by about 6 lengths. They're going to have to come and catch him if they can, but Wolfgang is exuding class. Murrumbidgee River spits the bit. Prince's Pleasure is tiring too. The rest of the field is just falling away behind Wolfgang. Here's Kill the Messenger trying to make a run, then Intonation and Blanco, and they're into the stretch. Wolfgang rolling 5 in front and geared down. Kill the Messenger up into second, Intonation third. Those two are close together, but they're so far behind Wolfgang that it doesn't matter. He's going to trot under the wire a good 4 in front. Kill the Messenger second, Intonation ahead third, then Prince's Pleasure and Blanco. The official winner is Wolfgang. He's a 3-year-old black colt by Sydney out of Summer by July. He was bred by the steward, that's me, and is owned by Patrick O'Malley. This is his 3rd win in 7 starts, and he's getting awfully close to that $1 million mark. Yeah, not there yet, but he's going to get closer. Next up, we have the big one of the night. This is the Chicago Million, and I did a lot of research on this race today because we have a 3-year-old trying to win this race and a filly trying to win this race. And this race, the Chicago Million, started back in year 5. So to tell you all about the ins and outs of what is normally a race won by 5-year-old males, here is, for one last time, Rebecca Rose Hepburn.
Okay, here we are in the big race of the night. Let's jump into the Chicago Million. Breaking from the first post is House of Cards for Eric Nailbone. House of Cards has had a good year so far. He's won Grade 1 Desert Duty Free and last out the Law Oceanside Stakes. His one loss this year has been to Imperative, and there's absolutely no shame in that. House of Cards is out of the Steward Mare Peppermint. He's a half to 2 other millionaires. I could absolutely see him coming away with the win on this one. Our next horse is Ominous Tones. It's a homebred for Emily Klein. It's one of those Emily Klein female family that's produced Dolphin, Anemone, and so on. You see her come along with a big one every couple of years, and Ominous Tones is her most recent one. Ominous Tones has won all three of his starts this year, and is definitely going to be in the mix, I think. Our next horse is the Specials, running for Norman Architecture. The Specials is a filly, and I think it's kind of telling that Norman would decide that he's going to put the Specials against the boys instead of investing in Stars. I think it shows that he has a lot of faith in her in this spot. Um, the Specials had a six race win streak going into her last start in the World Traveler Handicap, where she was beaten just ahead to Capital Income. Capital Income, who we just heard finishing second in the Beverly B. This is clearly a classy mare. I think it's very interesting that, Norman decided to put her against the boys, but I think that she could absolutely come away with the win here. Next up for Nina Olson, we have the Fancy Steward bred Coleman Hill. Now, it seems like every couple of years we get a turf router where we look at him and we wonder if he's going to be the next big thing. Like, first it's, is it the next Black Condor? Is it the next Sahara Dune? Is it the next Atlantis? And I think, people might be looking at Coleman Hill and wondering if he's the next Sydney. Of course, now Nina's going to try to strangle me for, putting that jinx on her. But I think Coleman Hill is one of those very special horses that only comes along once in a while. He is undefeated, and I know that, as Em said, the last 3-year-old to win it was year 17, but I think that we're just overdue. Anyway, so I'm going to stop fangirling, and we're going to go on to the next horse, who is Return to Acapulco, racing for Leonard Beagle. The 6-year-old horse is coming into this race off second place in the Casino Host Stakes. Earlier this year, he won the Caesar Augustus Handicap. I like Return to Acapulco. He's 6 now. He's been running around, facing big horses and winning races for the last 4 years now. He's multiple Grade 1 winner, and I could see him coming away with the win here. And our next up, we have DeJolly, who's running for Michael Looker. DeJolly's been running second to House of Cards in his last 2 starts, which, with, close neck loss and close head loss, considering how classy House of Cards is, there's no shame in that. Before that, he had a two-race win streak of the Grade 3 Zazam Stakes and the Grade 3 Lakeway Cup. I think that Jajali is maybe more like a dark horse in here. He definitely has the pedigree. He's a half horse. He's a half brother to horses like Savage and Imagineer. So there's definitely some back class going on there. And the last horse that we have is the Scars We Hide, running for Michelle Calderoni. The Scars We Hide is a pretty big long shot going into this, and I think the main reason that we see him is that he took a big step forward last out. Race that he won was only a classified allowance, but he ran it with an 88 speed figure, which was a career best. And I think he's one of those horses where you look at him and you start to wonder, well, that's his first race after the week 8 turnover. So is this a horse who's improved? So I think he's a big long shot, but I think there's a chance that we could see him run a race that's definitely a lot better than he's shown before. So that is the field for the Chicago Million, and we have 1 minute to post time, so I'm going to make Emily talk now. Go, Emily, go, go.
Thank you, Rebecca Rose, for your excellent emceeing tonight. I thought that was quite good of you. Don't forget to join us 5 days from now, 4 days, whatever Friday is, because that's the next time we'll be here. We'll be doing the Midsummer Oaks and Classic. If you guys haven't taken a look at the Midsummer Classic yet, I know I'm totally talking over the top of this race that we're supposed to be running right now. The Midsummer Classic has in it Addicted to Chaos, Derby winner Eastside Westside, Crown winner of the Best Man, Classic winner James Dean, Iron Spirit, who's always knocking right on the door, and Indominus, who's coming off a grade 1. So, yeah, be there or be square. Or not be there at all. Yeah, that. Also, this race is a little bit of a Pegasus turf preview because although it's lacking some of the big overseas stars, I do believe Ominous Tones, House of Cards for sure, and Coleman Hell are all planning on going in the Pegasus turf. So, wait, did I just like breach some kind of like, I shouldn't have said that thing? I might have said that, done that by accident. Whatever. Get on board, guys. This is a pre-Pegasus. Okay, it's post time for the Chicago Million. Is it going to be an older horse? Is it going to be the big filly? Or is it going to be the 3-year-old who's undefeated? Let's find out. They're off in the big one, the Chicago Million. House of Cards a step slow, and so too was the Scars We Hide. For the lead, that's Coleman Hell, dragging Ryder Wolf right to the front. Return to Acapulco goes to sit off of him. Ominous Tones, those three kick away. House of Cards, the Scars We Hide, DeJolly, and the Specials is the early trailer of 7 in this star-studded field. It is Coleman Hell leading under the wire the first time. Return to Acapulco with the pressure on back by a neck. And Ominous Tones is alongside. Those three have 3 lengths on House of Cards. The Scars We Hide and another 3 back to DeJolly, with the Specials, who is side by side. Sweeping to the backstretch, and Coleman Hell has bulled his way ahead by a length. Return to Acapulco tracks second, Ominous Tones third, but only 2 ahead of the gaining House of Cards. The Scars We Hide sits fifth with DeJolly and the Specials, who is edging closer now. Everyone still has a shot as they move up to the 5 furlong marker. Coleman Hell return to Acapulco, Ominous Tones, House of Cards still 5 behind. The Scars We Hide, the Specials, and DeJolly would have to come from 13 lengths back with half a mile left to go. Coleman Hell is challenged now by Return to Acapulco. Ominous Tones is closing in and House of Cards coming on. He's making up ground. These 4 are clear of the Specials, DeJolly, and the Scars We Hide, who is backpedaling a bit. Can Coleman Hell hold off the field? Top of the stretch. Return to Acapulco cracks first. Ominous Tones swoops into second. House of Cards third. DeJolly is running on from the back and then the Specials. But Coleman Hell is rolling down the stretch. He turns back the challenge of his elder rivals. Coleman Hell in a runaway performance. Ominous Tones can't catch him. House of Cards can't catch him. But Coleman Hell was a rock star today. He wins the million by almost 3. Close between Ominous Tones and House of Cards for second. Return to Acapulco held for fourth. And then DeJolly was fifth. The official winner is Coleman Hell. He's a 3-year-old chestnut colt by Calgon out of Instrumental by Gibraltar. He was bred by the steward and is owned by Nina Olson. He is now undefeated in 9 starts. He becomes the first 3-year-old to win this race since year 17 and only the 4th 3-year-old to win it in sim history. They're putting flowers on him right now, but you can't see it because we're not a video program. He also just went over $1 million. He's actually at like 1.5 now. He's a Richie. As I said, don't forget to join us next week on Friday for the Grade 1 races from the Spa. The Midsummer Oaks is pretty good too. It has Oaks winner Glory. It has Let It Go. And it has the horse that won the Baltimore Oaks, See You Sometime, and the horse that won the Long Island Acorn in Little Wanderer. So, as well as Shenanigans. Do you remember her? She ran in the Derby. pretty good races. Can't wait. Our MC will be Madeline Gilbert. And yeah, can't wait to see y'all there. After that, our next calls will be week 16 Thursday. Woot woot. All right, guys. Let's be done with this, shall we? We shall.